Alright, I have some time off of work, so I'm at my parents' place down in Florida. But I'm going to use the time to get some maintenance and some things done on the FJ. Just got a new bumper from 4LOFAB here. It's pretty awesome, but he didn't have time to paint it, so I'm going to go ahead and treat it and paint it, make sure all the rust comes off of it. Other thing I'm going to do is this windshield washer fluid reservoir. I'm going to relocate that. I got a kit from Snowbound Customs, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, be some footage of me working on the FJ, getting it ready to go. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't really know what I'm doing, so we'll figure it out. All right. Alright, I got the bumper off. Drove through a lot of rain, so it's pretty rusty. But lifted it on my own. It's not too bad, not too heavy. The only thing that I'm gonna do to it is these braces. Drill a hole in the bottom of there because water collected in there. So, but overall, nice bumper. We're gonna take the skid off and then coat it. Here's what I'm going to use to coat it. I'm going to sand it with 180 grit sandpaper first, and I'm going to use the 415 cleaner degreaser. Dilute it. It says a 4:1 mixture with water. Use their metal prep. Give a little etching, and then the actual 415 rust prevention over the top of it. And then since it's going to be exposed to the sun, I'm going to use some just spray on bed liner over the top. Couple layers, coats of that. Shouldn't be too bad. Alright, I got the skid plate off. Now I'm going to measure equal distance on this bracket, that bracket, and then drill into it so there's a little drainage hole in it. Alright, just got done drilling the holes right there and right there. That should help keep moisture out of the bumper in the future and prevent it from rusting and just collecting water in there. A little trick Father taught me is when you're drilling through metal, make sure you coat it with some WD-40. That way you preserve your drill bits and they can actually get through without heating up too much and ruining them. But now I'm going to go ahead and use some 180 grit sandpaper as recommended by the kit that I got from 415. And I'm just going to scuff up the bumper. Alright, I think I'm pretty much done sanding it. Took a little bit, but it's all good. It's the most important part. Now the point of this wasn't really to get all the surface rust off. It's more to scuff up the surface and create a little more bite and better adhesion to the bare metal when I actually apply the paint. Alright, I got my degreaser. It says to dilute to a 4:1 mixture, so I got my old Chemical Guys spray bottle, and I'm gonna start spraying the bumper, degreasing it. It says to let it sit for like 15 minutes or so, so I'll just give it all a good coating all over it. Let it just sit there and stay wet, and then I'll rinse it off afterward. Alright, it is all on there. It says you can use a hard brush to kind of bring up some of the grease and grime from it, but it's a brand new bumper, so I don't really have much grease and grime on it. Let it sit for a little bit and come back and rinse it off with some water. I did my first thing of degreaser, and I still noticed some crap coming off of it after I rinsed it off, so did a second layer, and just taking these shop rags and just gonna wipe it down and then rinse it off again. think that is pretty much clean of all the grime and whatnot. So while that is drying, hopefully pretty quick, I'm going to try and figure out my Snowbound Customs window washer fluid reservoir. And this thing is pretty crazy for a windshield washer reservoir. It's all aluminum, welded, pretty nice. But it's gonna look a lot better than that there, and it's gonna sit up underneath the engine bay. So I'll try and get some footage of me doing that, and we'll see how it turns out. All right, I forgot to start recording, but basically all I've done so far is I've unclipped the top of the washer fluid thing, and then you have this little gasket and plug thing, plugs in here. I undid that, and that drains it all out. I caught most of it, not bad. And then there's a second one in there, and you reuse those gaskets, so don't be too terribly rough with them. Yeah, try and figure out how to do the rest now. I'm gonna undo this one, undo this electrical plug, but on the other one, and then take that gasket out, and then should be able to come out. I don't think it's screwed in anywhere, but I'll have to check that afterward. All right, so there's a little clip, this little white notch, the bottom of the washer fluid reservoir. There's this little notch that it clips into, so I just yank that out like a kind of normal clip. And then I have a sneaking suspicion that that holds it in, so that is a 10mm, so I'm going to undo that and see if I can get a little bit more play to get that second gasket. Suzuki Hayabusa. Oh, that's it. Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Okay. Something else holding this in. Let me explore. I don't know what it could be, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna lay down underneath this here vehicle and figure out what's holding this thing on, because I don't know. Might be some mysterious screw or bolt somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's right underneath there. I'm gonna assume that's a 10mm as well. Alright, so that was pretty frustrating trying to get that window washer fluid out of here. I'm in the process of rerouting the pumps and whatnot. I haven't really figured out how exactly I'm gonna do that, but it's gonna look a lot cleaner now that this hunk of junk is out of there. Yeah, but now there's all this open space, and then it's gonna go somewhere in here. I need to figure out how I'm gonna route everything, but I think it'll look better. Well, I'm gonna take a break from the window washer fluid. I'm going to spray the next step with the Pour 15, which is the metal prep. I think what I'm going to do is spray it on, and then maybe get one of the little sponge dabber things and try and rub it into some tough to reach spots. It says to leave it on for 10 to 20 minutes and then rinse it off afterward, and then if it starts to bubble up or whatever, then you can smooth it out with a brush. So I'll get started on that. Alright, it is pretty much all coated. You can see some of the rust turning white, which is a good thing. That means it's working. Alright, here's the finish after using the metal prep. You can see the kind of color change on it. Looks like a pretty good surface to paint. Got the Pour 15 into a little bottle. Gonna use the tiny brush and start putting it on. Probably do the back side first and then spin around, do the other side. See how it goes. Now it says to do nice thin layers, so that is what I'm going to try and do. Ooh, you're also supposed to wear gloves with this. I'll put some on shortly. Alright, I got the first coat kind of on. Take a look at it. It's pretty good. You can see it, you know, it's drying. It's getting there. It kind of dries in like a gloss black finish, is what it says. I didn't get everything. I got what I could see. I'm gonna have to flip it over once I put the second coat on the back side, and then do the 2 coats on the other side as well. But just when you're doing this, make sure you dab up on the welds. Since they're bumpy, it's hard to get paint in them and stuff, and then just make sure you get all in the edges. Dip the brush in between all the holes. Just give it some extra protection. But yeah, it says, it doesn't give you a time limit on how long first coat's supposed to dry, but it says dry to touch. Might be a little tacky on the touch, so I'll wait until that's done. Yeah, basically you just want to do nice thin coats. After the first coat, it won't be completely black, but the second coat will be pretty good. But yeah, just go through, do it like that. Here's the back side for now, and this has the 2 coats on it, and as you can see, it finishes pretty glossy. Alright, update. I applied all the coats to the bumper, and it looks pretty good. It comes up with like a glossy finish, but I'm going to do a top coat of some Herculiner bed liner, just the rattle can kind, because 415 recommends, like, if your product is going to be exposed to sunlight, 415 doesn't hold up super well. So yeah, I'm just going to put that top coat over it. Created kind of a makeshift paint booth, making sure to cover Dad's Humvee. He approved, made sure I wasn't gonna get any spray on it. But now I'm basically gonna go over the whole bumper, and I'm going to go over it with, what kind of grit do I have? With 220 grit sandpaper. 415 recommends, I believe it's 320, but I don't have any of that, and it's too late to go to the store. So I'm gonna use 220. And you just want to make sure that you get rid of all the shine. You can see the shine here, and then this is what I already sanded, and kind of just create another texture that the top coat can stick onto. In other news, I, in classic fashion, broke one of the pumps for the windshield washer fluid reservoir. That's a mouthful, but I broke one of them. You can see that's supposed to have a little nipple that the hose goes onto. So I went to the Toyota dealership, and surprisingly they had one in stock. Yeah, so if you decide to break yours, this will set you back $100 for this silly little pump. So don't do that, but I'll get some footage of me sanding, and then hopefully I can get to painting tonight. It's raining, so I'm doing it in the garage. All right. So this is also a great time. If you drip the paint, if your coats are too thick, like some of mine are, you can see some of the drips that I did. Like this is pretty bad right there. This is a great opportunity to, you know, flatten them down a little bit before you do your top coat. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. It's not gonna be perfect just because, you know. All right, new day, new dawn. Went to the store, got some 320 grit sandpaper this time. So now I'm gonna start hitting it again. All right, so I got the bumper pretty much sanded down. I think that's probably about as good as it's gonna get. You can see kind of the discoloration. This is like the shiny versus, you know, the sanded part of it. Got rid of all that shine, kind of scuffed it up. So I'm gonna take it out and spray it with the water hose a bit, get all the dust off, and then probably bring it back in. Give it a little IAB, isopropyl alcohol bath, as the final, hey, let's clean you before I paint you. And then, yeah, I'll be done. Hopefully in the next few hours or so. The sun came out, so I'm gonna move the bumper onto the table and let it dry for a bit. And it's starting to warm up a little bit. I was gonna paint in the garage because it's kind of cold out, but with the sunshine, it feels pretty warm. I think it's supposed to get up to 70 today, so plop it on there, let it dry for a little bit, and then start painting. All right, so I'm with the back of the FJ with the window washer fluid reservoir, and I got one of the pumps in. It's actually been a lot easier than it was last night. So what I did is I just sprayed a rubber gasket with some WD-40, grease it up a little bit, and then I've been using like the tool that you use to open up a paint can. I just kind of feed it around the edge, and that's been working pretty easy today. So I'll videotape me doing it, and this one probably is not going to go as easy now that I'm filming. Boom. Okay, just get this end of the tool and kind of just, you know, push the gasket in. Oh, it's kind of, oh yeah, cash money. Look at that. That's pretty good. It's not bad. It's in there. Alright, now I'm gonna plug it all up and hope that it works, and then, yeah, we'll see. Alright, I gave the bumper one final alcohol bath, and I'm gonna get started painting. It's all dry, so we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna shake up the can and get to spraying. Light coats. Alright, I finished coat 1 of the bed liner. It looks pretty good, I think. I tried to do a thin coat, but bed liner just comes out pretty thick, so I think it'll turn out pretty good. You can see the texture on there. I'll wait probably like 10 minutes and then come out and do coat 2. Update, Dad just got some new shorts and he's out here
already getting
helping out, yeah, and he still left the tags on just in case he's gonna return them after helping me. But we got the windshield washer fluid reservoir hooked up with 2 self-tapping screws, and I'm known for zip ties, so we got a zip tie down here holding it, and it's pretty stout and sturdy, and it works. Already been tested. Now we're gonna get the bumper on. Here's after 2 coats. It looks pretty solid. Might be hard to see in the light, but yeah, it has a texturized finish. Looks pretty good. So we're gonna get it on and see what it looks like. All right, it is a very chilly 40 degrees Florida morning, but the bumper is all dried. Last night I got the skid plate on. It's looking real good, real good. Dry touch, you can feel the texture of that bed liner on it, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to installing it on the old FJ. Alright, everything is bolted down, installed. It's looking real good. It's a clean looking bumper. Get it from the back a little bit. Yeah, not too bad. It's been a couple days painting just because I've been doing stuff too, and I keep finding random nooks and crannies that weren't painted correctly, so but I think I got everything covered, and I'll be posting updates when see if it rusts at all. Only thing I'd say to do is do thin coats with the Pour 15 so you don't get like drip marks like I had some of the front braces. But yeah, other than that, just follow the instructions that are on the can, and it's pretty easy. Also, wear gloves because this is like day 3 that I've had Pour 15 on my hands and it hasn't come off yet. It's almost there, a couple more days, but yeah, it's not too bad. And then here's that windshield washer reservoir. That used to hang down right there. It's just that big plastic bottle, and you could see the blue washer fluid in there, and it just kind of looked like it's carrying around a jug of Kool-Aid. Looked kind of ugly, but no, yeah, this looks good. Finished product. I'll post a video of me doing some more maintenance on the FJ while I'm down in Florida in a little bit after this one. Hasta luego.